Well, welcome back to the channel, my YouTube brethren. Got Dad up there working on the house, trying to get it tore down, and I'm going to be working on some of these trees today, get those taken down. So it's spring, it's warm, it feels good. Got a cold front coming in. Well, it actually came in today, had a pretty good north wind this morning, but it's warm enough for us to get to work here on the property. So we're gonna do some of that, and then hopefully by the end of today we'll be able to take the motor off the yellow boat. So that's the plan for today. So I'll just bring you guys along. I've cut down a lot of trees and I've used a lot of chainsaws. I love that steel. It's a 441. It's huge. It's nice. And but I'm not a sawyer. I'm not a professional sawyer. And I know for a fact that some of y'all are going to see that and you're going to go right down to the comments and you're going to be all safety sallies in the comments telling me, well, I should have worn chainsaw chaps. I should have worn better gloves. I should have worn better eye protection, ear protection, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But I'm just going to tell you something. Safety first is really not true. Almost every time you see a company say safety first or whatever it happens to be, it's not safety first. It's safety second, third, maybe fourth or fifth. The first job, or the first thing, the most important thing is get the job done. That's the most important thing. If you don't have the ability to get the job done without being perfectly safe, then safety first doesn't really count. So we're just shade tree folks, just trying to get this stuff cleaned out. I know it's not OSHA approved the way that I just handled a chainsaw. So don't necessarily have to leave mean comments. I understand, but also understand we have to get it done. And so Dad's up on the roof, you know, there's no ropes or anything, and if he falls, well, he falls. That's just something that we're gonna deal with, and you know, you have to get the job done. So hold off on your safety concerns. I understand. Feel free to leave comments if you want to, but we gotta get the job done. Hope you understand. Well, there's Dad up there working on the roof. We're trying to save as much lumber as we can off of it and either sell it or use it for another project. We've kind of cleared out the back end of this old house, and I'll just kind of show you around inside. So you can tell it's just old and run down, ready to be tore down, and 7-foot ceilings. Definitely not something you want to reuse and remake. Too small. But we're going to try to save all this lumber we can. There's hardwood floors in part of it. I don't know if we'll try to save that or not, but it's a big project, and typically we only have about one day out of the week to come over here and work on it. So it's been slow going. Hopefully this spring we can get a little more done and get this thing torn down. We're getting towards the end of the day, so we're gonna go ahead and try to get this motor off. We took the cover off and it looks pretty good in there. We have one bolt missing out of the head gasket, so we'll have to replace that. But other than that, we think it'll run as soon as we get it off and kind of work on it just a little bit. But we'll go ahead and tackle that. We're gonna work on the electrical first, get all that disconnected, and then also the steering cables, try to lift it off, and then we'll go from there.
3 wires on that one post.
And you're taking off. Okay.
This has to come off to take the engine off.
Okay.
I'll put these 2 back on it.
Alrighty. If you got a project like this, it's a pretty good idea to take pictures, take video as you take these things apart, because even if you think you're going to remember it, you probably won't. The last time we did it, we took pictures and took video, and we still had some issues getting it back together. So the more documentation you can get on it, the better. So get a little extra leverage. You can take one and just attach it on the tooth of the other, and it gives you just a little bit more braking leverage. That worked pretty good.
That does work good.
If we did it right, all those things should just pull out of there. Is that right?
That's right.
All right, so we got that side done. The next side is the steering cables, and it should be free. So I take it one of those is, like you said, the throttle, and then the other one is that a control arm?
That's the transmission, not transmission, lower unit.
Lower,
That's
okay.
your gear shifter.
Okay. I'll edit that transmission part out.
Okay. Wrong engine.
All right, we forgot the steering cable.
Flip the foot over. So this transom's
Oh, it's shot. For sure. You can get on the side of it and you can see it bowed out.
Yeah.
I think so. See that stupid thing. Look at that. Look at that bolt. Make sure it's high. Look at this bolt. Rusty. That's in really bad shape. That transom is definitely shot. All right. I think that's it.
Okay, you ought to be free.
Oh, there she goes right there. Guys. Easy peasy.
That's it.
Okay. Okay, looks like we're free.
There you go. That's coming out.
Come on.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. That's plenty.
Okay, is that plenty?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so here's the transom. We knew the transom was rotted, and you can definitely tell it's got a big bow up here. They've added a piece of metal to try to help. I tell you what, Dad, last thing, let's try to get this plate off, and let's just look at it. You got a Phillips head screwdriver? Yep. Well, that'll be fun. Get in there and fix that.
Yep. Take those rivets out.
Yep.
You start taking that top.
Yep. This whole thing. Take this railing off.
Yeah. That disengage all your steering
Yep.
up there and all that stuff.
Well, the next step will be I'll just strip the whole top.
Yep.
So we'll just start taking off compartment lids and steering and seats, trolling motors.
Rub rail.
Yep. Pick up that rub rail real fast. What's under it? This one right here. There's something. They try to silicone it too. Right here.
Oh, that.
Is that-
they did? Yeah, they tried to silicone.
Okay. I'll need to get in there and fix that. Okay. Well, first step's done. Well, we got the motor off, and I will tell you, it is nice to get started. I struggle with having projects that I know I need to do, I need to tackle, and I just, if I don't ever get started, they just keep getting filed further and further back, and you just kind of never get around to them. So now that it's started, I feel like it's got some momentum, and we can get back over here and get to work. Now this week we had a cold front come in. I've got 2 days of moderate temperatures, and then it's supposed to be pretty cold and windy Thursday, Friday. So maybe tomorrow I'll come over here and we'll strip the seats, we'll get all the compartments off of it, take the steering column out, maybe get this rub rail taken off, the trolling motor. I should have time to do that tomorrow evening. So I can try that, and then from there we can kind of get an idea of where we're going to go. Obviously we're going to have to sand it all the way down to the bare fiberglass and build it back up. We'll have to decide on colors and if we're going to use flake and all that. And first thing to do is just get everything taken apart and get the top cap removed from the bottom. So I'll be doing some research on that because I've never done it, and you know, we're not professionals around here. If you read my comments, some of the other videos, there's a lot of professionals out there that weigh in with their information, and I do appreciate that. But just know that we're just fly by the seats of our pants kind of folks. You know, we're going to get in there, we're going to get it done. It may not be absolutely perfect, but it's, you know, it's what you could do in your backyard, and that's kind of the whole thing. We don't have a professional shop, and we're also not going to pay somebody thousands and thousands of dollars to redo this old boat that's not worth anything. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. My goal for this particular boat is to get it put back together, make it look pretty nice, and then give it to a young man or a young woman who's getting into fishing, maybe a high schooler, maybe even somebody in college. Probably more like a high schooler. It's a short boat, and it's not a boat that's going to last you for a long time if you're tournament fishing, but it might be enough to get you started. So that's kind of the goal, and appreciate you guys, you know, watching the videos and giving me some encouragement, and it means a whole bunch. So thank you for tuning in. This is part 1 of the yellow boat restoration, and I look forward to many more parts before we get all this thing said and done. So if you have any tips, recommendations, leave them in the comments, let me know, and man, we'll just trug along and try to get it put back together and make it run. God bless you guys. Have a great, safe afternoon, and we will catch you next time.